Order.
Thank you, Madam Assistant Speaker. Another sitting week, and therefore what we see is another federal issue brought by the Labor Greens government by Minister Rattenbury. Madam Assistant Speaker, we believe this is firmly an issue for the federal or the Commonwealth Parliament. It's another example of a minister in this Greens Labor government attempting to use their position in the executive for their personal political gain. A motion here which is not about the welfare or the rights of Canberrans, but like numerous other motions by the Labor Greens MLAs, it's about grandstanding on federal issues rather than actually progressing a cause for the benefit of ACT people. Every sitting week we seem to have another motion on issues outside of the control of the ACT government or the ACT Assembly, while ignoring so many problems facing Canberrans every day. The proof of this is simple and stark. Yesterday we had Private Members' Day, and we had motions including the plight of Mitchell traders and the potential lack of a light rail station in Mitchell, an issue that's going to affect hundreds of local businesses. We had one about cladding at the Centenary Hospital, another issue that can affect many Canberra families. We had a motion on the Ngunnawal Bush Healing Farm, which will affect the health and livelihood of many of our Indigenous Canberrans. And we had one on municipal services and another on inclusion from those opposite. These are all very valid concerns that will relate to and affect Canberrans every day, and that's what we did in Private Members' Day. We had another one about light rail that didn't get debated yesterday because we ran out of time. But we come to Thursday, and for one thing, we don't have a lot of business on the notice paper. So to fill up a bit of time talking, rather than talk about local issues, which is what we should be doing, to make sure that we don't finish up before lunchtime, we've brought in a motion about federal issues. If the members opposite and those on the crossbench are so desperate to discuss federal issues, why don't they get in the car and pop up to the federal parliament? It's not that far away. There are many politicians up there who I'm sure would love to discuss federal issues with them. But here in this Assembly, the Canberra Liberals, at least, are very focused on discussing local issues, ones that the Assembly actually have some control over. Madam Speaker, this Assembly is not the right place to debate these federal issues. We will not be supporting the motion or the amendment. West Block has been vacant for more than 2 years, and the Chief Minister has already outlined how private investment can provide an opportunity to revitalise these properties and ensure their significant heritage values are maintained. The National Capital Authority amended the National Capital Plan to allow for a broader range of uses of these buildings to encourage important and necessary revitalisation of the precinct. It's important to note, Madam Assistant Speaker, that during the consultation phase, there were no public submissions received on those changes to the National Capital Plan. That's right, there were no public submissions received, not even from the Greens, who now want to bring this to the ACT Assembly to debate. They didn't bother to submit in the consultation phase on the change to the National Capital Plan. To me, it's a bit of blatant hypocrisy when we think about the discussion yesterday we had about the Mitchell traders and the debate on the light rail stop. And quite clearly, the Minister said that they should have participated in the consultation process. I'm sure you all remember that debate. If they wanted a train stop, they should have participated in the consultation process. They shouldn't have taken it for granted that they would get one, despite the fact that there was one marked on the little map that was out for consultation. So completely different approaches here. On the one hand, you have to participate in the consultation if you want to affect the outcome. On the other hand, we didn't participate in the consultation, but now we want to talk about the outcome on something that isn't even relevant to the ACT Legislative Assembly. Really? That's just ridiculous. Heritage values will continue to be protected through provisions included in the sales contracts and Crown leases. It's already on the heritage list, these buildings, and heritage laws protect any future owners from taking away the heritage value of the parliamentary area. Just because something is heritage listed doesn't mean it should have to sit empty and in a state of ruin. The federal government have decided that they are not able to keep up this property and properly maintain and restore the buildings to the condition that they deserve to be in, given their heritage status. That's why they're being allowed to be sold. And I'll read from the relevant minister's media statement of the 28th of August this year, Senator the Honourable Matthias Cormann, without the accent.
Hands I couldn't pick it up anyway.
The government continues to ensure that the Commonwealth's property portfolio is appropriate for expected future needs and maximises value for taxpayers. Following the commencement of the sale processes of Anzac Park East, Anzac Park West and West Block earlier this year, the government is now seeking proposals for the sale of East Block. The National Archives of Australia will temporarily relocate to the old Parliament House to enable the completion of capital works to the building. The National Archives will return to East Block in approximately September 2018. Private investment will support urban renewal, revitalisation of heritage buildings, reopening of the former restaurant building next to Anzac Park West, and the overdue rebuild of Anzac Park East, which has been unusable for decades. The approaches to market provide significant development opportunities and contribute to the revitalisation of key areas within the Parliamentary Triangle Precinct, consistent with the National Capital Plan. So, Madam Speaker, we have a government that talks all the time about urban renewal and revitalisation, and here is another opportunity. Here we're able to maintain the heritage values of those buildings, and earlier this year during Heritage Month, I went through that area on a guided tour and learnt about West Block and the bunker there, and it was the first time I'd heard about that, World War II history part of the bunker, and it was really fascinating. But it is heritage listed and it will continue to be maintained. Heritage values will be protected through covenants and provisions included in the sales contract and Crown leases. In conclusion, Madam Speaker, private investment can provide an opportunity to revitalise these properties and ensure their significant heritage values are maintained with adaptive reuse. In fact, it can enhance their heritage values. In conclusion, we will not be supporting the motion nor the amendment, given our position on this is that it is a matter firmly for the federal government, not the ACT Assembly.
Question is that the amendment be agreed to. Ms Lakuta.